Now from here, this is Cape Ford, West Virginia. If it's going to start here.
Larry started this battle 25 years ago. And so, you know, he's really the original founder of the movement against the mountaintop movement.
I'm sure that 12 or 15 years ago, people would not have thought of Larry Gibson as a leader, but Larry is a phenomenal leader. I don't think there is any individual who's spoken out more readily about mountaintop removal who has a better story to tell.
They've dropped the mountains down around me on average right now over 1,000 feet. We have 13 permits. A permit is an area where they're permitted to mine, which adds up to 7,538 acres that encircles me. And this here, what you see, this raw material that you see here, is the final cut that makes it an island for me.
Anybody that sees it is appalled at what's going on here. We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, the most biodiverse forest in the world. And, you know, they're blowing it up.
I was with Larry. I was up at the cemetery. It looks a lot different now than it did 10 years ago. I had my Irish flute with me, and I thought I'd go up and you know, play a song, but I couldn't get. I didn't have any air. I couldn't play a song. It hurt too bad. Originally, I had wanted to actually, my background was in reforestation. That was what I went to Yale School of Forestry, and I thought that I could come and help reforest these areas. And it doesn't take more than a few moments to realize that you can't.
He's been shot at, his cabin's been burnt down, his dog's been shot, and these truckers, you may come up this way. Well, these truckers would cut him off and he'd be by himself. And they would get him out of his vehicle and he would hold his ground. And it's people like that that inspires me, that keeps me going. You know, and just like Larry says, it's not about me or it's not about him. It's about our community, our culture, our history, our way of life. And it's what we're losing, you know. They're destroying our water, they're contaminating all our water. You know, and they're blowing up our land and they're polluting our air. And when they do that, then you're not able to live in these areas. We talk about our cemeteries. A lot of our cemeteries we can't even get to, you know, because it's on coal company property. You know, things like that, you know, that we're losing our culture. Things our ancestors believed in and their relationship with God and the land, we don't have it no more, you know, and we need to get it back, you know. In order for just to survive, we need that, and to save our heritage and our culture.
All across this country, I tell people, you know, you got to stay cool, get your point across. You can't be aggravated, you can't be angry, you know, you got to be credible, accountable, responsible, reliable. You got to be all these things. That day when I was giving a tour and I looked across the valley and seen the dozer in my cemetery, there's so much anger, so fast, like a damn coffee pot ready to blow, percolating. You know? Like all going through my head. I was going home to get my guns, You know, I was going to, you know, what I seen that day was the fact that they were wiping out all my culture, my history, my heritage, everything in one day, and just pushing it over a high wall like it didn't even matter, like it was just a piece of garbage, you know. And
we are asking residents, Coalfield residents who live here every day underneath these impoundments, breathing this dust, sick from this water, that they're gonna have to do that one more day so we can have our electricity one more day. And that seems to me one of the most selfish things I have ever seen, especially in this country in which we are really supposed to be, you know, aware of our impact.
Some people say it's a career for me. I mean, you know, you might call it that, but I call it my life, you know. I mean, it's my culture and my history. I mean, what can I take anyone? What can you go and show people 200 years of your history, your culture, right here, you know? And yeah, it's just the foundation that I stand on, you know? It's my principles I have. I now tell people, you know, I don't need no damn body to tell me I'm somebody. And these people that's laying in this ground, I'm doing as much for them now as I'm doing for the people who are standing upright. These people never had anything but what they had in their hand when they lived above ground. So they should have a voice now. They should have someone speaking in behalf of what their life was and how hard it was to live here. The monuments to them right now should be enough, should be sufficient. This should be hallowed ground. Should not be anybody in here destroying this. But who the hell are they and what kind of power, how they gain so much power over my people? How they gain so much power over the state government? Simply because the state government now is cold. That's why. Yeah.
Million and some acres of someone's nesting ground. 500 mountains tumble to the ground. Everything once living turns upside down and dead. Big boys line their pockets till nothing's left but dread. Water once was living, Poison Creek instead. Greenbacks rolling in, black diamonds line the bed. Big boys resting easy, black diamonds line the bed. Ain't no mountain now, boys, black crows overhead, black crows overhead.